Hey, welcome stream. Hopefully you can hear me just fine. We'll find out as we go through the setup tonight. So from the title, you probably saw that this is part 2 of Let's Build an App Live together. So some work did happen off screen, just to catch you up. I've gotten the app to the point of being able to show a countdown timer with a button for starting, stopping, and resetting, and to close the app. And I guess I should step back and remind everyone that what we were doing is, per request from a viewer, building a Raspberry Pi application that will be able to show a counter that counts up. So it'll show every second, minute, hour going up, as far as it can go, basically. That's the goal of it. So what we were doing is setting this app up using AI only. So even though I could write the program in Python just fine, the goal was to see where is AI right now in terms of being able to write this app for us, where I'm basically just the person in between getting the code to the device, testing it. I'm actually curious in the future to see if we could even deploy the app fully. But let's go ahead and take a look at where we're at. If you have any questions, comments, put those in the chat. Definitely interested. If you watched the first video, what would you have done differently there if you would have done anything different? And then also your feedback in general. If things go well, we might end up doing a gaming session after. We'll see. I'm going to, one thing that I give myself feedback on is we're just going to have some background music. So let's go ahead and bring up something here. We're using copyright-free background music from Breaking Copyright, the royalty-free music channel on YouTube. They are great for things like this. Check them out. And also, we're going to once again use or ask for people to go to, let's bring this up here. Give me just a moment, let's see. There you go, Rocky Kanaka. Go to shop.rockykanaka.com and buy something from their website if this is interesting to you. Again, there's no affiliation between us, but let them know in the chat that Spec Sheet from YouTube sent you. They don't know who we are, but the mission that they do with that shop and with Rocky Kanaka and his Sitting with Dogs channel is something that I find very interesting and soothing, and also gives me the desire to give back. So go there if you want to help dogs in shelters find forever homes. I'm sure they would appreciate any assistance you can give them. Let's bring up our device. So I'm going to power on the Raspberry Pi. You're going to see in just a moment what that will look like. Hopefully I'm balanced between this music. We'll find out. I guess this is one of those things where you do it live and it either works out or it doesn't. All right. And I also did figure out the Raspberry Pi issues. There you go. You're seeing a Raspberry Pi booting up as we speak. And I do want to give an update on the language model that ended up helping me the most. So I was using several different models with LM Studio on my Mac Mini M4, and the Gemma one is what I mainly focused on, but I ended up moving to Gemini Pro, the Google AI, just directly in the cloud. That's what got us to the point of what you're going to see on screen here in just a moment. So let's go ahead and bring this up. Oh, look at that. You can see my IP address. I love that. You're on my local network, let me actually connect by remote PowerShell here. All right, let's see what we've got. Going to move that keyboard for now and bring up the main one. Here we go. You're not seeing anything on screen, but you will in just a moment. Maybe. Oh, great. Got an error. And what happened here? Wondering if I had a computer crash. Let's find out. Or computer went to sleep. I'm going to say computer crash. This is awesome. That's all right. Let's try. Going directly to the device. Run our counter.py. See what we get here. I got an error just a moment ago on the other side there. Hey, we have an app running. Wonder why it did not run for the other. So let's see. Let me just give you a walkthrough here. I will move myself out of the circle for now. And this is what we've got so far. You notice that I hit the start button and the start switched to stop, and I have a reset button. If I press reset, then it goes back to zeros, and then I can start it again. And stop, and then I can close. Let's try to figure out why the app is trying to act weird here. So the other thing we're going to do is tonight we're going to work on doing a feature request to it, which is having the buttons go hidden when, sorry, as I'm working through different things here, have them go hidden after a couple seconds. So let's see if I can get this to play now. And it does not want to play nice. So let's look at the code. And of course, the computer that would be playing some background music for the awkward moments like this crashed. So let's bring that back on. Mute it temporarily as it's booting up, and we'll work through this. Yeah. Let's go ahead and start that app again. And close it. And what I want to do is bring over the next line of code for this, where we have decided to have it not show the buttons after a period of time. And we're going to find out whether Gemini can maintain context in the process of this. So will the app still work or will it not? will be our question. And see if the computer is restarted here. Push an update. Sync that update. This is also going to be, I'll make sure to mention this again in just a few minutes, but there is a GitHub repo that all of these experiments have been working against. So if you want to pull this code down, you'll be able to. I might put it in the description before we're done. We'll see. Let's bring back some music. There we go. See how long it takes until that crashes. Doing it live. Okay, so we've got our updated code. And for some reason my remote shell doesn't want to work. Let me just go to screen sharing, and that way I can use the same keyboard and mouse that we're working from for the live stream. Okay, that'll be a little bit easier to manage. Let's see what our, oh wait, nothing's changed. Let's close the app. Well, let's just review it one more time. So what should happen after this change is that these buttons disappear until there's an action on the screen. So close it, do a git fetch, and git pull. And I just remembered the direction I'm looking here makes me want to move this way. See how well that works as a more interesting direction for me. All right, let's update our app. Let's see what happens. Again, this is Gemini, Google's AI running this. So let's start it. I'll move my mouse out of the way here and let's just give it a moment and see. There we go, those disappeared. That did what it was supposed to. That's good news. Move the mouse and we see them come back. But we'll sit here and wait for just a moment. Should go away again. That's good. I notice our X in the top corner is still showing, so let's take a look at that. Oh, that's what we want. Let's bring up, find out if I have the right browsers here. Again, let me know in the chat if the audio levels are balanced well enough. It's hard for me to tell here where I'm sitting with all the connections we got going here. Let's see. All right. Move this here and let's take a look at what we've got here. So what I've done is asked the LLM, Google, to update it to have the start and reset buttons become invisible unless there is mouse movement, then restore. And you see that it did that. Now let's ask it the next question, which is, can you also remove the, oh, you can't see my, there's just there's not a win for us in this, is there, in terms of where my video sits. Let me move back over here. All right, can you also remove the close x in the corner. Let's try that, see what it tells us. Oh, actually, you know what? I want to not remove the x. Precision here would have been important. What we want to do is hide the x. So let's undo the last change and instead of remove the x, let's hide it with the same rules as the start and reset button. Let's find out how well it reverts back changes. All right, understood. You want to bring back the X button, but have it follow the same rules as the auto hiding for the start and stop. All right, let's see how this code goes. I will copy it, put it into VS Code, commit the change. Why so technical? I see you in the chat. One of my favorite channels. What sucks? Does the audio suck? The video suck? Give me more info. I can get down with that. This would be boring. It's more just like a hangout session. Oh, my computer just crashed again with the music. So if it was boring before, like my Windows computer connected to my eGPU is really acting buggy tonight. It's really weird. Okay, so that's pushed up. Let's stop the app and oh, okay, so I get it now. Part of the Why So Technical family. I thought you were Gatun. I didn't know, which is fine. You still could have that opinion, but Bits Loading having that opinion makes complete sense to me. It's because you need to learn how to pick your channel on YouTube. That's why you're showing up. Let's see. So now let me pull those changes. And in full transparency, what we're building today is 4 Bits Loading. So if you're wondering in the chat. It brought back memories, though, to see that channel in my feed. Okay, let's try running again. This does not bode well for the other thing I was going to try to build potentially after this if my main computer is going to be crashing. This is my Windows machine that was playing music and now seems to be crash prone. Let's see what's going on here. All right, let's just let the app sit for a moment, see if all 3 elements go away. Oh wait, you're not seeing my screen. You probably want to see that. You've been looking at the AI stuff there the whole time. Let's see, okay. All the elements disappear. reappear. Let's start it, sit back. We're going to kind of go through a cycle of what happens when the elements go away. When I come back, can I activate a different element and see that it works correctly? So now let's go reset. Leave it alone, make sure it's doing what it's supposed to. I'm just doing unit testing of each of the functional elements of it. They are hidden. So now I'm going to start again. Let my mouse just sit. Everything goes away. Bring it back up and just hit the X. Make sure the X works. And it does. So let's run it one more time. Go back and see if we can get some music playing again. But let's go to, I don't know how far we got into this playlist. Let's just play something else. Oh, hey, how about I mess with my mic there? Again, I'm interested now that you're in there, bits loading. How is the audio balanced? Like, can you hear me well? Do I sound okay? And is the music not overpowering, or is it? Looks like we're good on the second run. Reset, let them disappear, and we'll close it. Next thing we're going to do is ask it to update for the option that we did to where you can show the days. We're going to make that a configuration choice. All right, let's take some feedback there and bring that music back some. Let's try that right there. I don't want to raise my mic audio because then you're going to even more have to hear me. Okay, so go back to can you now make the feature of showing the days the counter has been running an option rather than the default? Make this, I can spell, Boolean, default to false, meaning the counter continues to show hours rather than show the dates. Let's see how it does with that. I went ahead and brought up my mic a little bit. We'll see. I do see that, there we go. I guess I could also raise my voice too. I'm using a lapel from my Rode wireless mic today, so it's a little bit different than normal. All right, let's see what its response is. I will add a Boolean flag show days inside the stopwatch app class. I'll set this to its default value of false. The application's logic will be updated to check this flag. If it's false, the timer will simply continue to count up the hours. It will not display the days counting. If you were to change this flag, it would revert to the previous behavior. All right, let's pull this in and see what we get. I'm going to bring you back over to the Raspberry Pi as I push this change up. One thing, Bits, is I'd love to have you, I wish there was a way I could have you call in. I don't know if you would want to join on our restream. You could join the conversation from there. But I'd love to see what this looks like running on your machine. Maybe you could just comment. Because everything that you've seen me run so far is live on our repo. So you could be pulling this in. And if you want to join directly, then of course we're not going to sit here for 25 hours to see it hit the main point. I'm already tired thinking about that. Let's do another unit test here. Looks like the starting and then the hiding is working. Let's go hit reset. Controls disappeared. Start again. That seems like it's working. Let's go up and hit the X. That looks good. So one idea that we had was about setting the background to have an image, but that has causing some issues for us. Let's see if we change the color of the background. Right now the background is black. I'm going to change that to, can I set that to a hex value? Let me see. I'm going to try the hex of, yeah, let's just do a gray. So it's still a dark color, which matches with our white for the text label. So it's still label. Like, if I could talk, that would help. And push that up. I want to figure out a way that I can have the song that's playing show up in the text of the live stream. Oh, okay. I think I could just do a sync. That probably would be enough to... Let's see if we got a different color. Doesn't look like it. Okay, let me push another change here. Okay. Let's go ahead and test what if I'm right that Git sync will do that. Nope. Then pull fetch and pull. Oh, I said the word as I was typing, so I ended up doing it twice. All right, we're not getting different colors with hex values. So let's try this a little differently. Let's actually ask Gemini, so I'm not making changes without. Actually, let's see. Can I use? Yeah. Set the font, color, and background color. What is the answer? That's what I thought, but it's not getting the change that I set. So let's go back to here and we try this again. Set a different color. And pull that change. Lose our pull from here. Still not seeing it update the background. We have two different, oh, I see. I'm updating it in the day label. It's all about where to update. So let me reset that back. Okay. And now under the correct property, I'm going to set just a color. I'm going to go with a purplish, darker color just to see the change. And actually, yeah, let's see what this change does. Sorry I don't have it set up to where you're seeing my code editor right now. I will fix that for our next session. Time flies so quickly. I can't believe we're already this far into it, but we're having success, so that's good. All right, now I need to pull those changes. And let's see, do we have a different color background? No. So, let's see. So we've got a couple different areas here. If I come back over to this code, let's just look at it here because we could see it together. And as we look at it, that we've got, this bothers me. There. Let's look at this together and see where we're going to set the color. So what I'm wondering is if this is my problem. I wasn't setting it here, I was setting it right here, mainframed all the time and day labels. Originally, I was just updating this. You'll see that in the Git commits that it was talking about me updating the day label. I did not realize that. Okay, so I'm starting to think what we're going to see is there's multiple frames here. So let's just ask, can you create a global variable, store the background color, text, and create background variables. Thanks for saying that's a great idea. These are the things, if you were a developer creating this app, you would probably just do on your own. I mean, unless you were reading and pulling your code from different places, you might end up with a hodgepodge that you come back in a refactor before you ship the product to say, okay, how can I make this easier to manage? Or you find out when your first request comes in to say, change the color from black to blue, and you realize you have to change it in 4 different places, then you might do it. But I would recommend always taking that time to think about how you can set things in one place. Okay, so now we have a color configuration area where we're setting the background color, foreground color. Hold on just a moment, I'm getting ready to sneeze. Hopefully I muted that, we'll see. Actually, I won't see. I'm just kind of skimming through this, kind of doing my own little mini code review. Reset button is still set separately, and so is the active background and the start button. That's probably okay, since they are unique elements right now. I would like to see that just configured though. Let's go ahead and try it though. Again, the idea of this is we're seeing whether trusting the AI to help us do it speeds anything up. I probably could have had this written by now on my own, but the hiding effect, it did do a good job of building that quicker than I think I would have done it, so that is a positive. All right, let's see whether anything has broken. I'm gonna let it sit for 3 seconds, that's good. Controls come back up, let me hit start. Elements were hidden, let me stop. Okay, let me reset. Elements are hidden. Let's start. Stop. Start. I just realized that that's basically pausing it. instead of stopping, in my point of view. I don't know that the word stop makes a lot of sense. Let's just go ahead and let it run. And I'm going to change that background color now to the purple that I was trying to do earlier. Save it. Pull the change. Okay, there's still bits. And look at that, we have purple. So it does accurately set the background color. That's good. Let's just go ahead and start it. Run and hide the controls and stop them. Close the app. Now I'm going to reset that back. Maybe, what's it doing here? All right. And we're going to fetch that change, pull, and we're back to our original. So the next thing that I was going to look at was auto starting it. So I've got a series of ways to auto start it. Let me bring those up on screen. Here we go. So we've got our Pi app. Method 1. In order to have a command or program run when the Pi boots, you can add it to RC Local. This is especially useful if you want to power up your Pi in headless mode that is connected without the program. So let's go ahead and do that. We're just going to work our way down the list. Back to the Pi. And we're going to get the mouse over it. And we're going to go sudo nano etc rc local. See how outdated this article is. Okay, now we're going to sudo Python. Let me try to get my screen resolution on this monitor. I can read that better. There we go. Sudo Python. Home. Oh. Home counter, because we're in counter. Py counter screen AI. This will be relative to your folder that your app is in. And then counter.py ampersand. And it says we must be sure to fork the process by adding an ampersand to the end of the command. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Do yes to save that. Write to the local file. And let's restart. And we'll see. Do we auto start with our app or not? Oh, I gotta get used to not bumping that. This microphone is so sensitive. I'm gonna get something else set up here really quick while I wait. All right, it is powered on, but I'm not seeing it auto start. How about you? Get reconnected. And let's take a look at our file system. All right, etc. rc.local, did that file get created? rc local. Let's see if we can edit it. There it is. Do we have a path issue? Home counter. Where is our app? Need to go one more folder. So likely tried to run and there was nothing to do because the file was not found. Let's save that. Of course, I need to be under sudo, so let's try that again. Don't save. And we go back to we want to edit to add another counter. And save that. And let's see if this works. Because of course, user error would be the first problem with it. Let's make sure we take that out of the mix before we just assume that this is not the right way to go. All right. All right, not looking good. We do not have a boot straight into it. So choice number 1 was not the way to go. We will go ahead and leave that in for now. And I'm going to look at the second one is the bash RC. The second method to run, let me share my screen by reading. Second method is the bash RC. This will run when we log in. Okay, so this might be a little bit more aggressive with the starting up every time something runs. I don't want to do that. Let's switch to method 3. To run a program is to add it to the startup. This directory will contain it. Let's look at the 4th before we make our decision. The 4th, and maybe the 5th too. The 4th method to run, I just want it to be when I want it to start when the OS starts, because it says it's going to boot into the desktop. You know what? Let's go ask Gemini. How can I make this app? What say you, Gemini? They go with the systemd approach. And let's read the guide. This is something I find very interesting about all the LLMs. Gemini is just super easy to where it creates its document. I could save it if I wanted. Okay, auto starting your Python GUI application on boot. To make your timer application run automatically when your Raspberry Pi starts up, we will create a systemd service file. This file tells the operating system what to run and when to run it. 1. Save your script. First, ensure the Python script is saved in a permanent location on your Raspberry Pi. Yeah, you can assume the path, we'll update it. 2. Create a systemd service file, and then we're going to have to put it's going a little different there. Next, you'll need to create a service file, open a terminal on your Raspberry Pi, and run the following command to create and edit the file. Edit a new file named timer.service. Thinking counter.service, but that's okay. Add content to the service file. Okay, yeah, we're building a service. I get it. And then we'll run the service. And the systemd file will enable and run it. Okay, so let's do those steps. Going back to the top here, and we'll go to our Raspberry Pi. Let's do this all from the command line. And we're going to create our service file now. Sudo nano etc systemd system timer. We're going to go with the exact same steps they give, just to help, only replacing the name of the script file. Okay, sudo nano etc systemd system timer service. We're in there. Now we're going to add the contents of what they described. So I will copy that. See if I can paste it here. Not going to be surprised if I can't. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now let's move back up and describe it. Again, we'll just keep it all. Another thing we have to change is this needs to be home counter. Let's go ahead and bring back up what we were looking at earlier. RC local. This will give us a chance to test whether or not we put the right path in earlier. Copy that. Go back to our nano and replace this section. Looks like it's got the insert on. What's going on there? Okay, we'll just get rid of it this way. I did not like what I did there, so we'll just type it. I'm remoting I'm saying that weirdly, and using a Mac that I'm not typically using this keyboard for, so I hit something there that I didn't like. Counter, pi, counter, screen, AI, counter.py. Leave the rest alone. Save it. All right, and our next step in what Gemini told us after we've pasted all of that is to enable the service, reload the systemd manager with my new file. So we're going to do sudo systemctl daemon reload. Oh, hopes to spell it right. That is not what the spelling is. Did it again. Okay, sudo systemctl enable timer service. And it's been created. So now I'm going to do sudo systemctl start timer service. So bits, I will put this in the README and then you can download it and run those steps too, assuming this works. Let's do a reboot using the GUI. And while that restarts, I will update this. Doesn't look good though. It has not started. That sounded promising though. So it could be user error. We'll find out. Let me reconnect to it remotely. Let's delete the RC local file now. And I am just guessing that this is connected to a path issue. Ultimately, we can start checking some logs if we have to, but okay, delete this. I bet it won't let me. Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and ask Gemini. Let me double check that path. High counter. See what it says. Again, we're listening to music from Breaking Copyright, royalty-free music on YouTube. Be sure to check out their channel, as well as go to shoprockykanaka.com and buy some stuff from him and his service. And check out his Sitting with Dogs channel and merch. They help rescue dogs find forever homes, and they do a great job of everything they do. I find their videos very interesting. So yeah, check them out. Check out a treat that your dog might like. Again, we have no direct affiliation with them. We're just okay, I'm a fan. I haven't talked to Michael at all about that, so he may not agree, but I think he will. Go pick up a Sitting with Dogs hoodie, or buy me one, but if you're gonna get me one, let's see, I want it in dark gray. It'll need to be XL. And yeah, go ahead and get me one. That's shoprockykanaka.com. Okay, so let's see what we've said, or what it said. Go back to the top. Of course, it's a very common for this process to need a little adjustment. Okay, yeah, whatever there. The most likely reason it didn't start is that your systemd service file is still pointing to the... Okay, no, it misunderstood me. You need to update to reflect the new path. Open the service file we created. Ooh, working directory. That was probably an issue. Oh no, we didn't have a working directory. Come on. Okay. Let's go ahead and switch over to our Pi. And we're going to open this up in Nano. And take a look at what we've got here. They are saying, oh, our user is wrong too. So yeah, see, there's just a couple issues of just not paying attention to the context. This user should be counter. They're saying that we should add working directory equals home counter counter by counter screen AI, and we're going to double check that before we are done. Environment display 0, exec start, user bin, Python. Oh, and there was a typo from my keyboard confusion earlier. So let's fix that to say Python 3 because we want it to run Python 3. Then have the full path to our file. And again, we'll double check that to make sure that is the full path. Restart always, graphical target is correct. Let's move this down here. Go to counter, counter, pi counter. Check it with me. It should be pi counter screen AI counter dot pi. That looks correct. So let's save it. Now it says that we could reload. So let's see if we have that in our history here spelled correctly. Do our reload. Do our enable. And start. There we go, look at that. It's amazing what happens when you path it correctly. Make sure it runs. Let's do our same test before. Does start work? Do they hide? Can I stop and see that they hide? Yes. Now I'll start again, wait for another hide, and then I'll reset. See that they hide. After a reset, can I start? And see it hide, and then now can I close the app? And what happens when it closes? It restarts because it's now a service running all the time. So there really is no benefit to the close button anymore. Let's go ahead and do unless you shrink it down, which is a valid use. You can, let's say you wanted to put a background of a website. Let's go ahead and bring up the browser, close some of our other windows. Again, it is a Raspberry Pi, so it's not going to be fast. And this is a Raspberry Pi 3. So it is great at single tasking. This counter, perfect for it. But as soon as I start to say, let's have a browser running and this task that is constantly waiting to try to load. Let's see, it's seemingly locked up here. There we go, now it's starting to pick up. So let's say we wanted to put, let's go, once it catches up, Go to patreon.com. And find spec sheet. Might be under Spec Sheet Technology Show. We'll see what we get here. Again, the Raspberry Pi is going to be extremely slow with this. There we go, specsheet.tech. Looks like we've lost some followers, but you can join here for free, or you can see our membership options, and from there, again, probably the worst way to do it is to check it from a Raspberry Pi browser, but you can support us at $5 a month, or you can gift us a membership to anybody. And I will mention that if you, what's the word I'm looking for? If you want to give us a donation of, I think the number probably now with inflation is somewhere around $5,000 each, then we'll come do an episode at your house with you for a total of $10,000. I'll just go ahead and say that for Michael too. Close that. And let's go with so Unsplash. See if I get the right website here, not some wild. Let's search for a photo of clouds and birds. Oh, hey, missed some of my typing. That is not what I typed, I promise you. That I did do. And let's pick, because this has a dark background. I see your comment there, Bits. We will come back and look at that too. Because yeah, that, like where we're going here, potentially you just show the calendar on top of an image or a website. And put it in the middle of your screen. That is a potential workaround. All right, so let's go back to, actually no, we didn't finish doing a reboot to see that it works there. Let's do that. While that's rebooting, let's go ahead and let this get all the way through, and then we'll try that. We'll ask Gemini whether or not it can make it transparent with the GUI that we're using, or the framework we're using to paint the screens. I don't know that we're going to be able to pull that off. Might require a refactor. We'll see. All right, our OS is booted. Just waiting. All the services need to be booted up. You really could load this in a light version. I have the full OS of Raspberry Pi running. I don't think you'd have any problems if you ran like a light. Require a what? A refactor? I don't know that we're gonna need to do that. I'm just preparing myself for the possibility, like use a different tool to paint the screen is what I mean with that. It's not looking good, it's not starting. Why is it not starting? What happens if I, oh wait, hold on. Let me reconnect. Why is that not bringing it up? So, let's go ahead and see what the status of our service is. All right, let's see why it failed. Loaded. It's not active. Timer service start request repeated to. Okay, let's find out what Gemini says about that. When I reboot, actually let's go back to when I run the command for the status and get it. Timer service, start request repeated too quickly. And what is the response? Let's bring that up. Okay. All right, so is it a permissions issue? We'll go ahead and run this as it's saying. So what happens when I start it? Runs each time just fine when I start it. It'll probably pick itself back up. Yep. And now I gotta stop that service for it to. But let's go ahead and do another run of this. As it's running, let's go ahead and reboot. As we're waiting, I'm asking Gemini whether or not we can do a background of transparent with TK or Tinker. Let's see. Yeah, the problem is that the window can be partially transparent, but then the text wouldn't be. And it looks like our app is not starting again. Okay, let's reconnect to the Pi. Bring back up the terminal. See what our status is. Another failed. Okay, so it looks like we could do the, like I'm gonna stop this. Get our, nope, don't wanna go there. And go back to the app. And we're going to try the way it says that we could do a transparent value. So our background color is black. You can set a transparent key. Self.transparent color. And then I gotta update. I know it's kind of boring here. Give me just a moment and we'll get back to trying to figure out why it won't auto boot or auto start on boot. So I need transparent color, cursor none, add this line to make. Let's see, now I gotta do self.root.wm attributes. Let's see if this change will work. So one of the things that will get interesting for you if you're running this app is the need to stop the service if you run into issues so that you can do an update. Git fetch pull start it. Hard to say whether that's transparent or not. I would say it's not. Okay, so it's saying I think it's trying to say that you could do that for like keying something. Let's try it saying lime green. Let me just set that as the color. Try this one more time. Should start back up. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it sees the transparency. Unless I'm misunderstanding it and I need to make this color. Commit this change. Oops, sorry. And get our changes again. See if I got it this time. Nope, it is still not transparent. It was a good idea, though. Oh, no, wait. I don't think it's getting... Because the file's in use. That's why. Close. Oh, I'm going to have to stop the service. Now to our, this is where I was saying it gets awkward when you go to update. You got to make sure the service is stopped if you have it auto starting. It still says your local changes to the following files. Oh. We changed the permissions on the file and it wants to update it. Oh, never mind. This isn't going to have a... It's a git discard. I want to... Remind myself here. Git restore should cover us there. There we go. Now we're going to have a couple updates. Oops. Keep doing that, thinking I can go back, but I can't. I'm going to do, oops, Python 3 counter.py. And now it's upset because of our transparency. Back and double check what it's saying here. That should be self.root.wm attributes, transparent color. Yeah, that's what it told me to do. Double check the rest of the code here. Self-roots, or self.root attributes, full screen, self.root.configure, bg self.transparent color, cursor none, and set the main color back again to, or the main background color to black. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Commit that. What happens here? Same problem. So it does not like setting that self dot root. Hold on a second. I'm gonna make sure I copy it straight from Gemini, paste. And set this value to push this change. All right, now we're getting somewhere. I wonder if alpha is what I need to set. But my worry is it's setting it for alpha keying on a higher layer. Yeah, this isn't going to work. It's not doing what we want it to. You take everything out for that. Make sure it's restored. The problem is if I set an alpha, that's going to be for everything within the app, not just what we want. Make sure it's going to run again, and it does. I mean, there is nothing stopping you from running it not full screen. And that is in the config that you can set. Now let's reboot and see if there's any chance this thing boots up. I don't think it's going to, but and it still could be user error. Oh, one other thing I see here is making sure we set the permissions on the service file We'll see if that's part of the issue, because it did not start up. This will be our last test, then I'm going to switch us over to something else really quick, just to see for fun. Sudo oops, no. System D system timer dot service. Make sure it's spelled correctly. Is that right? Oh wait, my other window was helping us with this. Let's go back to that. Yeah, that's what I thought. That was the wrong path. Must be old. Bring that up. Change this to etc. And sudo reboot. All right, cross our fingers here that this is going to work. Not looking great. Should not be that complicated to just get our servos running. But there's some dependency is not running that it needs. This music's getting intense, isn't it? We're getting the same failed exit code. All right, let's see if I all right, just reading here. Okay, let me see if I can make this work. We need to go back into our Nano. Let's see it there. Nope. Okay, and then we're going to update it to say the service user and group equal counter. Working directory is correct. Environment display, we're going to add environment X authority equals counter. This is all coming from Gemini right now, so I'm not actually sure what this is doing. Probably should look at it. Authority. Exec start. Now we'll do restart on failure. Oops. Failure. Restart. Seconds, I believe it is 10. Okay, now let's read what it's saying in the description of all this is. The group ensures the script is running as a correct user and right permissions. Environment, let me just share this with you. Really makes more sense. Okay, environment equals X authority. This is the magic key that securely gives you script permissions to draw windows on the screen. This is often missing. Make sure the path is right for my user. So that would be correct for your user that you set up for your Pi. Restart on failure. It waits 10 seconds. I'm going to update that value to 30 seconds. No, not with that. Cancel. Tried using my keypad, that's the problem. It doesn't like that. Oops, 30. Save it. And sudo reboot. So hopefully that waiting 30 seconds is enough. I will update the README. Again, user and group are specific to what you set your system up to. It's not going to be the exact same values. Back up the Pi, not looking good, but it was 30 seconds, so we'll wait just a little bit. We might be back to the same problem of permissions again. Oh, look at that. It did work. There you go. Follow everything we did at the end of this video and you should be good. I just updated the README to include all the things we just added. That has been pushed up. Okay, so there we go. We did it this time. almost 2 hours into it, we were able to get this to run. Now let's just make sure that, we were able to get it to auto run. Let me get logged back into it to my remote session, and let's just double check that it still starts. Things hide. It stops. It resets. And it closes, but then comes back up. So bits loading, you'll just need to create that system or that timer.service, make sure it's added, enabled, and follows all the permission rules we just went through, and then you should be good. And with that, let me bring myself back up. And thank you all for joining. I'm going to, actually, you know what, hold on. We're gonna go one more step here. And that step includes, this would start back up in 30 seconds, but we're gonna stop it, shut it down, and I'm gonna try putting back with this, the Raspberry Pi that this was specifically doing was set up as a retro game. I want to see if I can get my Retro Pi working with my, I'll get the words out, don't worry, with my Xbox controller. Because it is a goal of mine to do some retro gaming. Maybe Michael will end up joining with that at some point, we'll see. Get my Xbox controller connected. Let's do a reboot. Let's see what happens. Does it boot up? The problem is I still got to get audio from it to you to work that out. Hey, there's RetroPie. I actually don't know if I have any ROMs loaded on this, so that could also be a roadblock for us, but let's just see if the controller loads. Hold a button on your device to configure it. Come on, see my controller. I have another gamepad I can use if I ultimately have to. Okay. All right. We'll work that out the next time. So I will let everybody have their rest of their night back from this exciting and riveting work we've been doing. I will talk to you all again very soon, maybe even next week. I'm thinking we might create a sound, what am I thinking for? Sound clip, or a, yeah, sound clip board. Soundboard. There it is. I'll get it. All right. Have a good